There is a verse in the Holy Rule of St. Benedict which contains the whole life. It's in chapter 7, verse 56. It's about holy silence. And I remember meditating on this verse in Mount St. Joseph Abbey here in Ireland in 1986. For it was the verse on which everything hinged. I had been transferred there in January from La Trappe, but I hadn't been cycling because of the question of this verse. It was to do with perpetual silence. And I remember how I realized what a huge difference it was to live without the massive protection of strict silence, and indeed the sign language to protect it. And I wrote these words. There is a word that changes all my words. To listeners, for I begin to hear the truth in these consigned messengers, that chords have plucked along the ages since the youth of this monastic genus. In the heart of every hooded voyager within. For in the hours 'neath which I saw depart the doubled fullness of two dwellings, thin, nay, microscopic was the leak through which the wastage drained me. For 'twas my own soul that hovered o'er the moving of a switch, that could record, nay, densify the whole, or lose for e'er the harmony engraved on this band by unbinding soon depraved. The two dwellings in question were Sélignac, now long since closed, de Chartreuse, and La Trappe. One notices, when looking over the monastic world, that the Lord blesses greatly those houses where the Holy Rule is taken very seriously. Notably, right now, the Trappist monastery where it is in France is Ceffonds, and they have about 90 in community. And they have made a foundation also. And we see there how all this noise about recruiting is as much hot air compared with calm, quiet fidelity. For where the Lord sees that his rights are given him and he is able to be totally Lord of the soul, who is hidden entirely in him in unbroken silence, then he will tendentially want and rule that souls be called there, for he wants souls just for him, and is still well able to call them out of humanity, unknown unto men, unknown even unto their confreres, the past parked and left where it belongs, and the eyes of the soul entirely orientated towards the inner guest, whose voice can be heard when there are no complicated dynamics of human contact in the ear and in the memory. For every conversation and every contact with noise is contamination and renders difficult the perception of the still, small voice.